Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So this is going to be a bit of a special one. So I have made videos and guides on how to do the Whisper. I have the how to carry your friends video. I have the before the 2.0 sandbox changes videos. I also have the Oracle guide and the chess guide. But today's video is a little bit different. I want to do a guide on the solo player, the new player experience. So maybe you got into the game around Forsaken, you got it during Black Armory, but somebody who doesn't have, the best of the best. They don't have all the weapons, they don't have all the gear, they don't have all the god rolls and stuff. So that's the idea for today's video. So again, this video is going to be on how to get the Whisper of the Worm as the solo player without, the best of the best stuff. And this is to show you what to use and how you can overcome it and how it's not just this massively insurmountable thing because you don't have the best stuff. But enough of that. This is going to get straight into the build here. So for the build, we're going to be doing this on our Hunter. This can be done on any class. It is just a little bit different flow in how you approach the encounters, how you use your supers, and how you get through the jump puzzle. But for me, we're going to be using our Hunter for this. We're going to be using the Arc Strider with Way of the Wind. That is bottom tree. So that is where you get increased sprint speed. You get damage reduction while you're dodging, the disorienting melee, and just more uptime on your dodge in general. We're going to be using Marksman Dodge to reload our weapons. Arc Bolt Grenades for its chain ability. There are some issues with the grenade. Hopefully we don't run into those while we're doing this, but sometimes it just doesn't actually activate and tag the enemies. Triple Jump for the mobility aspect of it. And for our weapons, we're going to be cycling through a bit of a bunch of stuff, but all these things they're pretty freeform. They have a lot of leeway, but it's the general concept. So for our kinetic slot, we're going to be using a sniper rifle, ideally a high impact or adaptive sniper rifle like these. These both have rapid hit triple tap, which are very good. I have a boss spec mod on this just to do a little bit more extra damage to the final bosses. And like I said, Long Shadow, similar thing. You can use it on the majors. This one has a major spec on it. Primaries, we're going to be using energy primaries, and we're going to be swapping between a mix of the Polaris Lance, the Year 1 Positive Outlook, but again, this is pretty freeform. It's just any, you can use Noggle Address, you can use anything that has medium to long range and is void damage. This has kill clip and AP rounds, which is perfect for what we need it for. And then the Valacaden, this is just a random drop. You can get the Year 1 version of this from Asher on IO, or you can actually get this from Banshee. This one just has extended mag, and I throw a backup mag on it, and so it has 72 rounds, and you'll see why that comes into play later into the video. And then this is just a right side of wrong. I was debating between which one to use, but I ended up going with Polaris Lance, and we're going to be using that on the boss. Machine gun is going to be our heavy. This does not really matter. As long as you have a machine gun and you can throw a boss back on it, that is all that matters. You can use Thunderlord as well because the bonus damage from Rain Havoc is very good. But yeah, we're just going to be using a machine gun in our heavy slot. For our armor, reserves, ideally you'd want machine gun reserves. You can also go with sniper rifle reserves. I'm using sniper rifle scavenger on my gloves here, and then rifle loader because we're using only rifles here. You could use hand cannon loader if you wanted to use a hand cannon as your primary, but you're going to run into issues later on when you're using your sniper. Unflinching doesn't really matter. Special ammo finder here. Our exotic armor, we're going to be switching between Stompies and the Lucky Raspberry, the Raiden Flux, as well as a mix of the Foe Tracer and even the Celestial Nighthawk. And there's a lot of switching that goes on, but this is to really optimize what you have available to you. If you had to only use a couple exotics, you can very easily get away with using Stompies. You don't even need to use Stompies, it just makes it easier. You can also get away with just using Lucky Raspberry. Again, optional. Raiden Flux is the big one, though. You definitely want to be able to have Raiden Flux, but as I said, you can very, very easily, well, not very easily, but it is very much doable without Raiden Flux. But that is going to be the build, and then we're going to get right back into the actual gameplay in a second here. So, as for where the mission itself actually takes place and how you activate the Whisper mission, so this is the Whisper Heroic. This is what pops up on Friday to Sunday is when this is available, but that is only if you have completed the normal version. To activate the normal version, it spawns in the Lost Oasis, and again, on the same time frame, Friday to Sunday, and there will be a public event that will either spawn here on the map, or up here on the map. If you get one right in here, that is the Cabal Drill, that is the wrong one, and you need to wait for that to actually spawn in the correct location. I'm not going to wait around to show you the normal version of this, so we're going to be doing this on heroic. This actually only makes it harder for me to complete it with this. It will be easier on the normal variant. Solar Stage will come into play a little bit, but not really. Otherwise, everything will just have a little bit less health, they'll do a little bit less damage, and that is the normal version of that. So let's load into there. The other thing to note is the normal version of the Whisper mission is actually a 360 power level activity. So if you are 20 levels above that, so 390, you're at the maximum power bonus, so you don't need to worry if your light's not high enough. If you're only around 500, it's really not going to matter. If you're 500, you're good to go. Just make sure your weapons are around about the same way. Alright, so loading in, first thing you want to do, there's this little archway right here. You want to jump right up on top of here. And then we're going up to this little rock formation. So you jump up and get up here, and this is where Stompies are coming into play. There is a Blight right here, and you just want to primary this down, and then hit it with your melee, and just get down here. It doesn't really matter how you kill this, I just wouldn't recommend using any special or heavy ammo on it. And then the hole opens up, and you want to drop down in here, and then you just keep running on a straight path, and there's a little bit of an archway right here you got to go through. There's a gap right here you want to jump across. And then drop down here onto this ledge, slide underneath here. I'm going to dodge to maintain my momentum. Careful these boopers. If you're using Stompies, you can make this jump. If not, you want to drop down here and take this little path this way. But we are using Stompies, so there is this little massive jump down that we can actually make because we are using Stompies. And then you end up landing right on this pillar, and then there you go. And you want to jump across to here. Do not go to the right here. You want to go left. If you go right, you're going to get stuck. Jump out and around on this ledge, wait for these little sliders, and then I'm just going to kind of jump spam to go through here a little bit quicker. This is being greedy. I've done this enough times. Oh. So right there, I staggered my jump so I can jump out and around, and then we're going to jump out and across, and then we're going to go to that little elevator over there. And this jump puzzle, it's not the easiest thing, but it's once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bike. It's really simple to get through. On a Warlock, I would highly recommend you swap to Strafe Glide to actually go around these little corners because it is real rough. But nah, we're just going up the elevator, jumping across, take a left right here, going to this little cubby hole, and then we get into the little shifting hallway. And this, just go. Don't get squanched. Just don't fall down into the little pit of death. You can actually hop around on the ceilings because the angle is pretty nice. And we're actually just going to be skipping this. Careful of the little boopers. Generally, they're not too big of a thing. Just don't let them psych you out. Just kind of run, basically. They have really forgiving patterns on them. And we're just jumping across. Pretty self-explanatory. Keep going forward. You don't want to hang around too long because there are taken vandals that will snipe you. We're jumping across this little ledge. Don't get squashed by the door. Jump across here. And this is the tube room. Your goal is to get to the very last tube on the right, on the top layer. So we're just jumping over and across to here. Again, Stompies coming into play, giving us that extra jump height and sprint speed. And also slide distance a little bit. Then jump out, up into the last hole on the right, on the top, drop down. This is the green room. You don't actually need to do any of these jump puzzles. You do it for the chest, but we're not doing the chest. As soon as you get down here, entering the green room, drop down off the ledge, stop, turn 180 degrees, bottom left of your screen, there's a little black cave right here. Crouch, walk through it. That's how you get through. And then from here, you just keep running straight, go around, take a left. You want to jumping out to this archway on your left, this curve, and you just want to hug the wall. Careful, a little crack right there. Then here's this little, like, diving board looking thing, and you're going into this little light straight down. And there you go. Jump across this little gap, hug the left wall, take a right, and then there you go. That is the jump puzzle complete. Now on to the combat section. So we're going to stop, swap our armor over, and then swap on our boots, throw on Lucky Raspberry for this. We have the correct weapons and whatnot. Jump up here to the left. Use this Blight as cover. And see, yeah, I was greedy there. I should have just sniped him. Careful of this captain. Yeah, that's what I should have done in the first place. Reload our snipe. And this is the importance of having a solar primary weapon here. You can deal with a shield. I'm trying to tank that again. These guys can be annoying if you don't actually deal with them correctly. I regret not actually using my right side of wrong, to be honest. And I'm going to snipe the Vandal to the right. There we go. You want to pop all these little grenade thingies. They're running across right here. Jump up here. There's another captain they got to deal with. You know, Polaris Lance is actually a really bad choice to use against these. If you guys have a right side of wrong or anything like that, highly recommend using that instead. Because this is not the optimal choice, as I'm sure you guys can tell. Alright, now he's dealt with. So now we're going to come up here, pop this, grab all the Thrall in the room by just kind of running at them. And then you want to round them all up, and this is where Lucky Raspberry comes into play. Group them all up down here, jump overhead, toss an Arc Bolt. Toss another one because you got the reset. Alright, those guys are dealt with. I'm going to swap over to this. Alright. Grenade these guys. Clean up this guy. I want to hop back up on top of here. Look across, and then just keep arc bolting. The goal is to tag 4 targets at the same time. They will immune each other, but you're able to get your resets on your arc bolts, so it's not the end of the world. And there you go. You just kind of systematically take care of all the enemies in the room. Don't just run in. You got to have a plan. That's the biggest thing with all of these encounters, is you got to approach them tactically. Have a plan. There you go. Keep chaining the Arc Bolt. Alright, I didn't get the reset, so we're going to swap over to Raiden Flux before I forget. And these guys are going to chill in the Blight, so I'm actually going to have to run in and push them. I don't have my disorienting melee, but that's fine. How are we doing on time? 13 minutes? Alright, we got plenty of time. Alright, so now that this whole room's dead, this back Blight opens, and you can shoot this, dodge to reload, and you want to come into this room hot, slide out, pop your super, and just use the light attack here. Don't use your heavy attack. You don't need to do the Palm Strike combo. That may change as the update comes through next week, as the time of recording this video. But no, you want to light attack through there, focus down the Knight, this is the most important one. Get the Acolytes if you can. And then you want to dodge back towards the start of this room. And you're going to deal with the other Knights separately. So this guy, crouch right here. Careful of his fire. Chip him down a little bit. Swap to my snipe. Headshot. He's going to hide, isn't he? Yeah, sometimes they do that. Keep him from regenerating shield. Snipe him out. Alright, now we're going to go right back up to where he was standing. Hop across. Another Knight, same thing. Pop his shield. Careful of the fire. Just gonna toss a grenade. Yeah, this guy likes to be a bit of an ass about it and hide behind the pillar, so I'm just gonna clean up. The goblins, or the hobgoblins rather, so we don't have to deal with the snipers. And then the wizard, of course, also going to be a bit of a dick. So we're going to swap to our positive outlook here. Pop the shield. And then snipe the wizard down. There you go. I'm going to proc kill clip on the Acolyte eye. And then break the wizard shield. There you go. Now the wizard's handled. And don't be afraid to swap between your primaries here. As long as you're using primaries in the same slot, you don't need to feel too bad about swapping between in terms of losing ammo and whatnot. Where did you just go, Mr. Knight? There you go. I don't want to get him before he starts to teleport all over the place. Alright, so he's down. Same thing. We're going to run over to where he actually was. Grab up some ammo. And there's another Knight that we want to look across right here. And then again, oh, dodge to reload this. Same thing, break his shield, and just snipe him out. And then the Thrall, we're going to swap back to our positive outlook because there's one more wizard that we got to deal with. Also, all these Acolytes. Let's actually deal with the Acolytes first. So jump back up here to where the first Knight was. Again, proc kill clip on the eye. And then AP rounds melt the shields. Because we're matching the element, we get that explosion. There you go. Those Acolytes handled. Grab this guy down here. He's down. Reaper out kill clip. Go inside. Alright, Acolytes handled. So now we're going to come up here. One last Hobgoblin. Shadow Thrall. And then Wizard, pop shield. Yeah, I'm bad at this game. Alright, there you go. So there's that handled. Now we're going to be swapping to the Valak. No? Oh, shit. Alright, well. Alright, good. There's ammo here. So this is the Valakaden. I just burned all of my ammo, so I'm going to have to die in order to get ammo back for this. So don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Okay, sweet. There's some primary here. Nice. Alright, we're going to go in here. We want to break this blight before we actually go to the next section. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, I'm just not able to stand on that. Normally you can stand on that. You just melee it to finish it off. There you go. Pop this blight. And I want to go out here. Snipe you. Okay. I messed that up. So these guys spawn. And this is why we pop the blight, is so we can get some wiggle room here. Room to work. So these guys are down. Go back out here. Deal with you. Deal with you. And deal with you. There you go. Alright, so those guys are handled. Jump out. Ignore these scions. Auto rifle down this blight. Jump to stop your momentum. And this is where the blight... Okay, so we're at the boss room with 9 minutes. Perfect. Plenty of time. So, we need to kill all the blights in this room. Start from right and go all the clockwise around to the left. Let's break this blight. Jump over here. I'm actually going to stand on this. And you do not take the ambient damage when you're inside of a blight. And you actually get a little bit of a cover, like right there. See, I didn't take damage from that shield blast. Dodge to reload. Run over to the next blight. And then see, I'm just like using this as cover and I'm not actually taking damage. Very important to remember. Use all my ammo, melee it, kills it. Dodge to reload. Rinse, repeat. And then after we're done popping this plate, we're going to pop our super. Okay, you're not supposed to be allowed to do that. And then focus down the majors. Again, using only light attacks. Remember, you can always dodge for the damage reduction. And then after you kill the last guy, alright, boss is spawned. Run straight all the way back up here. And this is where it gets a little bit spicy. We have 7 minutes, 45 seconds. So we are actually going to be swapping to Gunslinger, and we're going to be using Bottom Tree, Way of the Sharpshooter. And that will generate our super energy. Throw this back on, and then we're going to throw Foe Tracer back on for the time being, and swap back to Polaris Lance. And now I want to use my sniper as much as I can. Mr. Capitan. He likes to hide, but you gotta figure out where he wants to hide at the time. He's middle? Okay, perfect. And this is where rapid hit comes in handy. You can just those quick, crispy reloads. And if you had Whisper, you wouldn't actually even need to be reloading as long as you're hitting your headshots. The trick to this guy is you gotta stun him. Stun him with a headshot, and then get in between the darkness blasts. Once you focus down the captain, the rest of the bosses are significantly easier to deal with. Alright, I'm actually going to swap to this now that I'm out of ammo. And Foe Tracer's going to be kicking in here now that he's... Oh, oopsie. Took a little bit more damage than I had anticipated. It'll spawn you back up here, but that's not too big of an issue. Just run back down. And again, same thing, you just want to keep yourself calm, collected, have a plan. So now that he's below 30% HP, I'm going to get bonus damage from Foe Tracer. Practice make perfect on the left side there, generating my super. I don't have marksman dodge, so that's a mistake on my end, but that's fine. I want to actually throw this and get out of the way of that. Okay, so that knight's just chilling over there, that's fine. We want to get down Mr. Captain as soon as possible, so that we can stop dealing with all these bolts. Alright. And then Mr. Turkey is going to chill over there. We just want to hammerhead him down from a distance. And this is where the boss spec is really coming into play for us. You want to be using this. And then again, like I was saying, we have practice make perfect, generating our super. Once we are done and have our super ready to go, we're going to be swapping to Nighthawk for the burst damage. And then even if you don't have Nighthawk, the bottom tree Gunslinger super will actually be plenty enough damage to justify using it. And normally, I actually personally like to use a different gauntlets that has Taken resistance on it, the Taken barrier mod, but this is not the super optimal setup. This is something that everybody can do. So we're just going to Polaris Lance him down, and the thing about Polaris Lance, as long as you're hitting headshots, doesn't matter. You can even just use a scout rifle with triple tap on it to achieve the same effect. Okay, so we have our super. We're going to pop Golden Gun right here. Make sure we take the time, line up the shot. And we didn't line up the shot, so there you go. That's what happens when you're dumb. Okay, he's going to run forward, though, so that's good for us. He is very low. Alright, so he's dead. And we're going to swap back to Foe Tracer. I think there is some snipe ammo out here, so we're going to run out and grab this. I'm probably going to die, but that's fine. There's also heavy as well. And it's fine to make ammo runs like this. Your goal isn't to survive, your goal is to get the ammo. And I got the ammo, so we're fine. We have 4 minutes left, plenty of time to kill the guy. I'm actually going to swap back to marksman dodge so I can properly reload my machine gun. And it spawned me down here, nice, perfect. So he will sometimes run behind that rock, so you got to be careful about that. And we're getting some good staggers on him, so that's good. Dodge to reload. You want to come out, bud? You're going to hide behind that rock the whole time. What's he doing? He's thinking about it. There you go. Trying to coax him out by walking up. He really doesn't want to, huh? See if I can bait him out. There he goes. Trying not to get blasted. So yeah, he likes to hide right back behind that pillar sometimes. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to run over actually to where he's at. Trying to be careful to avoid this stuff. Dodge his ground slam. Oh, I didn't get far enough away. Alright, that's fine. We still have 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Plenty of time left. Get the snipe. Sit way back. Just DPS him down. Focus on hitting the shots. See Foe Tracer coming into play, giving us that bonus damage. Not that flinch. And there you go. That is how to solo the Whisper of the Worm, or the Whisper mission to get yourself the Whisper of the Worm. And that is without having the most super optimal stuff. This is, you know, this is if you're a new player to the game, if you don't have a whole bunch of friends that can help you carry you, or they're not willing to, or whatever. But hopefully this video was helpful for you. If this was helpful for you and you know other people who are struggling to get the gun, feel free to pass this information on to them. So hopefully we can help out other people. And yeah, that's about it. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to drop a like. If you want to see more content like this with Destiny guides, info, and whatnot, feel free to subscribe. But otherwise, I will catch you in the next one. Take care.